President.
So,
I'm going to call you Mr. President from now on. I think
are
my
you really?
nickname for you.
All right. Well, just
When
so
it's
you.
your birthday, we'll sing "Happy Birthday,
Oh my
Mr.
God.
President."
Hey,
When is your
Vay.
birthday? When is your birthday?
My birthday is a week after Flag Day in America, February
Yeah, that
21st, or
has no meaning
Valentine's Day.
whatsoever. Sorry, when? A week
After.
after Flag Day. Gobbledygook, gobbledygook, gobbledygook is what I heard. A week
Okay.
after Flag.
Let me do this. Let me do this. My birthday is a week after Valentine's Day.
It still has no meaning for me.
You don't have Valentine's Day over in UK?
We do, but I don't believe in these imaginary made-up days that are designed for you to spend money for no reason other than the florists need for you to spend some money that day.
Okay. So for the people that know what Valentine's Day is, they can count 7, and then they would figure out that my birthday is the 29th. No, I'm kidding. It's the 30th of February. No, it's the 21st of February.
21st of February.
Yeah. I have a friend who was born leap year, and her birthday's the 29th, and I always joke with her, I only have to wish her happy birthday once every 4 years.
Very interesting. Just because Constantine came along and fucked up the Gregorian calendar,
Yeah. And that's
someone
why.
can't celebrate their birthday every year.
Yeah, and we don't like her that much anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just saying. So, how do you like our new studios here in downtown Bangkok? Yeah, what are you? Pretty
But where
nice,
are
huh?
you?
Really? And I'm on Earth. You can't miss it. It's the third rock from the sun. You make a left at Pluto, and you find it. So, but if you must know, and the fans must know, because you know Allie's going to want to know, I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, isn't that a lady's product?
No, that's Tampon.
Ah.
Yes, that's Tampon. But I am in Tampa, Florida, sitting in this big oversized couch, which makes me now look like I'm 5 years old.
You said Tampa. I think you were telling me last week that Tampa is on the western side of the peninsula.
Equator. Yes, it's on the west side of Florida.
The west side of Florida. Orlando is on the slightly more the east side.
It's in the middle, right? Sort of more
Is
east
it
of Tampa.
because it's not too far from Mission Control, right?
Well, you know, it's a few hours, but yeah, I mean, it would go Tampa, Orlando, and then the Gulf Coast. That's how.
I like
that's
Florida. I
Really?
do like Florida.
And you know who's in Florida? Now he has no excuse to come not smoke cigars with me. Our favorite non-Jew, Ruben.
Ruben was in London a few days ago. I think he's probably back in your neck of the woods.
He's in Miami.
He's in what's close to Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
I think he's somewhere between Fort Lauderdale and what is it? Ventura?
Oh, he's in Ventura Highway. Oh, Ventura's very nice. That's where all the Jews live. So, are you sure he's not Jewish?
I think he's probably an agent.
An agent. He's an agent of the Jews. Nice. Okay, that's awesome. It's good to know. Hey, Vay. This is going to be one of those shows, kids.
There you go. Now I know your pinch points. When you got pinch point, you come as Jewish as it is, with the oy vey.
Oy vey. I'm Jewish. How
was I supposed to know all these things? I don't know what your young generation is about.
It's just crazy. Today
I can do old Jewish very well, primarily because
you act like an old Jewish.
Primarily because the people that I've hung out with, including Jews throughout my life, have mainly been Iranians or Persians. And they behave in the same way. It's always about smile, but they take it in a slightly more sort of slightly slippery direction. You guys take it in a slightly more tragic direction. So
yes. For us, everything is being Jewish. Everything is a tragedy. It's like I'm starving to death.
I'm not
hungry.
As dramatic as possible.
That's right. I'm starving to death, and everything we do is
not good
the end
enough.
of the world. It's not right. It's not good enough. I'm starving to death. My son's a lawyer. He's not a doctor.
I don't have enough money, but I have £5 million hiding under the bed.
Right. So it's like there's two funny Jewish jokes for the people that I'm sure have tuned in for this while we're talking cigars. One is these two rabbis are walking down the street, and the one rabbi says to the other, he says, "You see those two women? One's my wife, one's my mistress." The other rabbi goes, "Me too." So,
oh God!
So there you go.
That's a good one.
Thank you. You may use it. I invented it. And then the other one is a rabbi is walking across the street and he gets hit by a car. So another rabbi comes running over and he folds his jacket and puts it under his head while they're waiting for the ambulance. And he says, "Are you comfortable?" And the rabbi that got hit by the car looks up and goes, "I make a living." So it's like we call it surus.
Yes,
Surus is
I
like
understand.
surus is like there's pain for everything. So yeah, so being Jewish
So,
is its own thing. Yeah, we have a good time with that.
I don't know if this is the place for jokes, but
Why not?
Rabbi Benjamin was lying on his deathbed,
Sure.
and he has three sons, and the energy is flowing out of the
Right.
rabbi. He knows he's just got a little bit of time left. He says, "Aaron, my son, where are you?" And Aaron is standing next to him. "I'm here, Father." Solomon, my son, where are you? Dear Father, I'm here. I'm
Right.
standing at the foot of the bed. My son David, where is David? And David says, "Dad, I'm here. David's here." And the rabbi goes, "Well, then who's looking after the shop?"
That's very true. It's like, and Colin Quinn has a Netflix special called The New York History, and he does this thing where the Jews come to Ellis Island, and he says, like the Jews, they're like, oh, it's like free medical. You check for tuberculosis, you do this, you do that. And he said, and the reason the Jews bought all the Brooklyn and Bronx and all that is because when they would go to City Hall, they'd be like, there's a lot of paperwork. And the Jews are like, what? It's okay. My son's an accountant. We can do the paperwork. Why don't you want me to do the paperwork? There's a whole thing.
In the family.
It's
in the family.
Where it's a whole different world. So, but yeah, so Tampa's interesting. So we'll see. So, I'm here for a bit. So there you go. As you can tell, in my new studio. The problem with the studio here in Tampa is they don't allow cigars. So what I will do for people is I'll post cigars I smoke on our Instagram account. And I will show you next Saturday the cigar I'm going to smoke after the show.
Well, talking of cigars,
yes.
I'm having a little bit of a thoughtful moment.
Congratulations.
I saw AJ Patel posting about the Davidoff Oro Blanco.
Ooh,
okay.
All right.
Now, this is Oro Blanco, which literally translates to white gold.
Okay.
Is a top-end Davidoff cigar. It retails in the UK for upwards of £500 per stick. Which
are you kidding me?
No, actually, it's a very serious product.
Okay.
I know this because the chaps at Davidoff have told me.
Oh,
it's a very serious product.
Well, that's why.
And they know what they're talking about because Davidoff, as a brand, has pedigree. And talking of pedigree,
here she is. The princess is joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Talking of pedigree,
yes.
Pedigree. Talking of
nobody ate Princess's homework this week, she wasn't traveling. And she has a watch she has a watch that tells the proper time. Who knew?
Well, this is just it. I was talking almost as if there was no.
I'm 6 minutes early than the official time.
Really? Anyway, we'll pretend. Let's pretend.
Does he get bonus points? Does he get bonus points for that?
He gets no, because he's calling. He's acting like we just talked about. He's being one of my people. He's being a Jew. I'm early. What do I get for it? I mean, this is what we're doing all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm learning from the best.
Yeah, as you should. So talking about that, and he disappears. Anyway, while you're sitting there with the Halloween light, and before I run the credits, do you want to finish telling us about the midnight? Do you want to tell us the rest of the story?
I'm giving you a sunny ambiance, primarily because it's like 30 degrees here in London, right? Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Hence the garbs. But I only just made it onto the program today. My head was spinning. My normal phrase is, I'm waiting for the earth to stop wobbling.
Yeah, because that Friday night water. Hey, so tell us the rest of the Davidoff story before we run the credits.
No. First run the credits.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know. The new producer of the show. Here, let's run the credits, everybody. Hey, welcome to Habanos Saturday. We're live, and Princess is joining us. Riz is here. I'm here. Nobody cares. And there you go.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
I have joined.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.
Habanos and Davidoff.
Every Saturday live.
Fonseca it is.
So does Davidoff paying us for that extra plug for them?
Davidoff doesn't need to pay anyone. I think it's an exceptional brand and an exceptional product.
He got paid.
Sometimes the choicest words are the unpaid words. Had I been paid, I would have said something truly out there. But in terms of reality, I think really it's an extraordinary brand. And what's made it more of an extraordinary brand for me is the amount of shit cigars being launched everywhere in the UK. All the fucking crap that is coming out. Total fucking crap. That lifestyle smokers are smoking, wearing stupid hats and silly glasses. Yeah.
Are you talking about that guy we criticized last week?
You want lifestyle? Do what Kirby does. I think Kirby's on to a good thing here. Yeah. It's all about Cuban and Davidoff. I know where he got that. He got it from me, and he got it from people like Usman. So there you go. I like to give a shout out, but I like to be very inclusive to everyone. I've taken a lesson from Usman's book. I now no longer slag off people who don't deserve to be slagged off.
All right, you're a little slagger, you. So, so Kirby, we're saying so to Kirby because Kirby watches the show all the time. So Kirby, congratulations, you got a shout out, and we'll make sure your check clears. Number two, Davidoff, I love. That's one of my go-to, as you know. I like the late hour, late evening, lady of the evening, whatever the hell it's called. Yes. And I enjoy that tremendously.
The various names you've made up for one simple cigar.
And if they were smart, they would market it that way. I mean, I'm just trying to help them. But yes,
I think the new face of Davidoff should be Usman.
Really?
Yeah, Usman has got that look. He's got that distinguished gentleman. Distinguished drivers. He's got that distinguished gentleman look.
He does. Yeah.
Usman is wondering where the fuck REZA is taking this conversation today.
I know, but for a 12-year-old, Elizabeth looks good.
You see, I'm never disrespectful I'm never disrespectful of you guys, right? So you guys are on safe ground.
Oh God.
But Usman is thinking, what the fuck is going through? What is he going to say today? And that is the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the show. Yeah. Okay, Usman, just jump in whenever you wake up. So
I am up very much. I would like to thank you both for being very kind and considerate always, and still accepting me. Oh wow, what a change! Raza has actually started to show up.
Hold on, let's plug a product here, kids. There you go.
Plugging product. This product this product has come to me from Usman. I think I plugged it before, but for some reason it's there.
No,
so
you did not. Well, now that Raza has plugged it, Raza, can you bring that back? And Stephen, can you show us both together?
Well, no, I can show us all together. So there.
Yes, please. That's fine.
Take a photo. That's a photo-worthy moment. Usman, you do it because Stephen's not all up with the tech these days.
My God. You think I am? You think I am? Stephen, can you please do that?
I can't take. I don't know how to take a photo. You take a photo.
There you go. Oh, no, Stephen's becoming wait. Now that he's really pissed off, he's like, I don't know.
I know how to take a photo. What am I, 14? There we go.
Wait.
Hey, listen, if you can get this done while the show is.
To capture the. Oh, okay. Right.
I'm still holding it.
Yeah, still holding it.
I could have done it.
Oh, yeah. It's done.
There you go.
I have taken the picture.
If I had one, I would have held it up too, but I don't.
24th of July. 24th of July is your delivery date. Yes. I have.
Can I do another one? Can I do another one?
Sure, you can show us whatever you'd like.
So, in contrast to my S2 DuPont, hand painted S2 DuPont.
Oh, very nice. Excuse us, the Joker.
Now, in order to be inclusive and in order to pitch, I want to say my new favorite. It's always been a favorite, but I think this is an exceptional brand.
Oh, Davidoff. Yeah. For some reason, you're sucking up to Davidoff quite a bit.
I'm not sucking up to Davidoff. Davidoff does not need. It's like saying sucking up to Ferrari. Ferrari doesn't need anyone to.
Yes. Oh, they do. Are you kidding? The new Ferraris.
I believe Davidoff.
I actually know why Raza is doing it, Stephen. I know. I remember our dear guru and friend AJ was smoking Davidoff Oro Blanco 2 days ago.
That's what we were just talking about.
Raza is now wanting to try the Davidoff Oro Blanco. That is what is happening here. We got you today.
You're not wrong. What actually happened is like when you watch a video of someone eating a burger, for some reason. Burger is in your head and you want to eat a burger, right?
I know.
Yeah. Right. So I saw not one. I saw several. I think he was being a little bit naughty. He was constantly posting about this
What am I going to
Oro
say?
Blanco,
What am I going
white
to
gold.
say?
AJ, white gold, not silver, white gold.
Yes.
That's
White
what Oro
gold.
Blanco means.
Wow. That sounds like
Right?
something
He
else
was
from the 80s.
posting, and it looked delectable. It looked as he was fucking enjoying himself, right? Which
Right.
is,
Mhm.
and he was saying there's a retrohale, deep retrohale on
Yeah.
this, and then curiosity got sparked, and ever since, for some fucking reason, I can't get Davidoff out of my brain, right? And there it is. See, honesty.
Well, no, we got it.
Osman is right. Honesty.
See, I told
But
Stephen, I
also,
told you
it's
there's
also
something
by
you know.
contrast. I was telling Stephen before, Osman, you came on. There is so many shit cigars out there.
Yeah.
That the good ones really feel even better than they used to be.
Who was selling you shit cigars?
Everyone is selling shit cigars these days. It's
Name
the
a
new
shit cigar.
fashion. It's the new fashion that I've got a cigar brand, and I want to. So I don't want to be dismissive of everyone. There
You
is a
should be.
chance that 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 will come up with a smokable cigar. Let's put it that way. But when you smoke a cigar, the whole purpose of smoking a cigar, in my book, Usman will be different, Stephen will be different, is you're capturing a piece of time, you're capturing a place, an aroma, an era that's disappeared, and you're kind of reliving it in the modern day world. And for that, you need a product that has traveled through time to get to you. And Davidoff's and Habanos cigars have traveled through time to get to you.
Right.
Okay. If someone designs a sports car tomorrow, it may be an outstanding sports car. No problem with that, right? But I would have thought people like me of a certain age would appreciate something that has the history associated with it. So it goes back to that.
I agree with that. Davidoff is a great. I love my Davidoffs. I like that, but there's other good cigars out there. Of course, the Cuban brand of cigars is the best. God forbid. And there you go. Now, when you talk about somebody,
of course, people whose travel is soon going to be banned for Cuba is gonna be sarcastic like you, Stephen. So it's fine. We understand the sarcasm here.
Excuse me.
Right,
Just so you know, I spoke with Donnie. And I was in Mar-a-Lago the other day with Donnie. We were talking, and pretty soon I will be the cigar czar, and the Cubans will be flowing, not the people, but the cigars will be flowing into America. And we're okay with that because I said, Donnie, just think of how much money we can make. They'll make a special Donnie Trump cigar, and people will buy the Cuban Donnie Trumps, and there you go. So we're negotiating with Habanos, and we'll see what happens. There you go.
Right.
That's news from here. So. If Usman, the camera's over here. Anyway, sorry.
I was actually thinking of
congratulations.
When do we start the Habanos history?
Whenever you want.
Really? Do we do it? Raza, what are you doing today? What history are you telling us?
He was supposed to do Romeo and Juliet for Ali because he promised Ali last week, but he doesn't remember. Maybe he will. And you're going to do whatever's in the title.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and it's
right.
the show.
So since he doesn't even remember, let's go.
No, the live show, by the way, just so you know, is called not your grandfather's cigar show, but it's still like it anyway. It's easy for me to say. Excuse me, more scotch, and I'll be fine. So there you go, and then we'll change it for the whatchamacallit. There we are, live, ladies and gentlemen. You're on the big screen as it should be. So there you go. Yeah, that's as it should be. Yeah, that's how everybody should be watching us is on the big screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're
gonna do. Can I get the big screen now, please? Thank you.
Yes, you. Okay, yeah. That's not the first time we've heard that. All right, you have the big screen.
Thank you very much. So everyone, you might have noticed that on my left side, there used to be like 4 of these bobbleheads. And there is something new that has been added to the table. So that is the new Indian Dino head kind of thing, or the Indian chief figurine that I've gotten. And that is not just a figurine, but an amazing cigar stand. Hence, I take my cigar off that today. And for the ones who want to see it closely, that's how it is.
Very nice. Oh, look at that. So basically, you're using the Indians, or they like to be called the indigenous, or the First Nation people. as slaves. Nice. That's very nice of you.
We've been slaves for a lot of years. I mean, I think we deserve to have somewhat of fun in this one.
Okay, that's one way to look at it.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. So today's brand is Fonseca, a lesser known brand in the Cuban portfolio, and lesser known for the ones who are not very regular smokers or who are new smokers. But the ones who've been around, they know that this brand is a pre-revolution brand from 1892.
Wow.
So practically somewhat around, if I'm not wrong, so we are talking about 132, 33 years old brand. Fun part is the brand was formed by a gentleman named as Don Francisco Fonseca, who's renowned for his eloquence and very gentlemanly look. He created the brand, he built the factory and all that stuff. And 1907 is when he registered the brand, not only in his name but also expanded the operations while being living out of New York. So he had been moved. He had moved to New York or U.S. at that time. Yet he was operating his company in Cuba. The production was running, and that is when the brand got its recognition. Even after the revolution, the brand continued for a long time. It is termed as one of the other brands category or the portfolio category, and it is a very very unique cigar from a perspective that it still owns to the real kind of thought process of the founder Fonseca, because since he was a very well dressed gentleman and all that stuff, he decided that his cigars are going to be in tissue paper. So this
Oh
is
my
a
goodness.
Japanese tissue paper or Japanese paper which was used at that time, and this is the only brand like Cuaba in the Habanos portfolio, which is a double pyramid or double figurado always. This is one brand which is always in this kind of a small little tissue paper. There have been many cigars in this portfolio, but right now, the currently in production cigars are Fonseca. Has like four of those, one being Fonseca number one. Then there is, if I'm not wrong, Delicios. Yes, yeah. So sorry, Cosacos. It has, yeah, Delicios. I was saying wrong. This is Delicias. And the fourth one, which is the smallest and the thinnest one, this is KDT Cadets. So like the cadets. So this is KDT Cadets, which is actually a very thin cigar and still in production. It is a 36 ring gauge by 4.5 or 115 millimeter in length. So without further ado on that brand, now a lot of people might be thinking, how do we smoke this thing? It's like the way there are a few cigars which come in a foil or they come in a cedros. How do you smoke? So there are different ways you can tear the tissue paper, still keep the band and smoke. I prefer taking this thing out completely off the tissue paper and then smoking it that way. So I'm gonna do that, and then
Why
we
would you
will
do that? You want people to see what you're smoking.
see. The thing is, I do not wish to smoke for others. I smoke for myself. Right
Right.
now, so in most of the cases, I try to now hide the band or take it off because I've seen a lot of people just smoke for the sake of the band or showing it. I keep it sometimes when I'm smoking alone. I take it off because it helps me actually remember the notes and the aroma and the profile of the cigar a lot, and that's how I'm training myself for further depth of knowledge in this.
You could be right there. I've started taking the band off myself, but then
Yeah.
what I do is I flick it at the person sitting opposite so they know what I'm smoking. Because when they receive it, they can have a look and they say, "Ah, I got hit by a K Dorsey." or I got hit by a Fonseca. And that in itself is a cigar memory for them to hold on to.
Right.
Well,
So,
that's thanks for sharing that, by the way.
right. So, mm, mm, yeah, a little bit of more, and it should be done now. Yes. And
Oh God, look at this. We got matches now. Hey, vey. Here we go.
Archivist matches.
Apparently, they're a sponsor of the show now too.
really, I thought Davidoff was.
Yeah, Davidoff definitely
Davidoff
is.
doesn't need to sponsor anyone. Davidoff is in a league of its own.
Davidoff wants to sponsor us so bad. We tell them we'll talk. We'll think about it. Stop it. So,
I think this talk of money is very crass.
oh, good. Yeah.
I think that if a brand is good, it sells itself.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
How's your cigar?
it's a good.
It's a very grassy cigar. It's a grassy cigar.
The fun part is the first puff was very floral.
Mhm.
And for me at least, that's how I define that. Maybe you defined it as grassy again, perspectives. But the draw is very nice. It's a fresh cigar actually. It's not an old box. It's a box of 24 December-ish types. So really nice.
If you
And
ever get around to retrohaling it, try retrohaling. That's like drawing into the back of the nose, and you get like a bit of a grassiness.
okay, nice. Okay, cool. For the ones who want a short smoke, this is probably a 25 to 30 minutes smoke again, given the fact it's just 4.5 with 36 ringgit. But the fact that it's a very thin rolled cigar, even lesser than the Lanceros and the Fundadores, it is very very uh, good in terms of the airflow, and the construction is very nice, and it's again, as I said, it's a light to medium kind of a
Okay.
cigar. Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
I complete the Habanos history for today. A sweet, quick one.
Well, that was beautiful. I'm gonna touch myself and cry and sing show tunes. So
Now,
that was
now
very
that
nice.
now that Raza has paid homage to both of his angels on the right and left shoulder, Raza, what do you
Right.
want to say?
So what would you like to discuss today?
I don't know.
Oh Jesus! I thought you were going to do Romeo and Juliet for Allie.
You see, my brain is. I got a message. I often do. I get a
On
message.
a vacation today. That's what he wants to say.
Okay.
His brain is on a vacation today.
I think I am. I think I am. Someone suggested some sort of topic. I don't know.
Romeo and Juliet. Allie wanted you to cover, and you last week you're like, I'll cover
What do
Romeo
I
and
know about
Juliet.
Romeo y Julieta? Romeo y Julieta cigars founded
Big
roughly
screen for Raza Adil.
1875. 1875. Now, 1875 is a very important date. I'll tell you why 1875 is a very important date.
Sure.
Because 1875, incidentally, whilst it was the
Day you were born.
so this is when the Romeo and Julieta factory opened, etc.,
Sure.
etc., etc., is also the
Jesus.
start of Impressionism. This is the year that Monet painted the impression of a sunrise en français,
Okay.
and where the term Impressionism comes from. Now, there's a reason why I'm tying these two things together. Because 1874, 1875, this period was around the Grand Exposition in Paris. And there was a romance in the air for everything, exotic and Eastern. And at that time, the world was a smaller place. So I'm guessing that sitting in Cuba at that time, Romeo and Juliet, the play by William Shakespeare, was the exotic thing to read, and therefore they gave this cigar an exotic sort of romancy kind of name, and that's where that name comes from, right? As far as I know, was one of two, I can never remember the other one, Winston Churchill's favorite brands. He would have 3,000 or 4,000 cigars regularly in stock next to his study. He'd be constantly smoking Romeo and Julietas. Now, if you give me a pause, I did ask an industry expert for a nugget of info that no one else may necessarily necessarily have about Romeo and Julieta. And I did get a
Okay.
response from the illustrious, let's see if I can find it.
It's
Let's see
just the
if I
two
can
of
find
us.
it. A list
Anytime you want to show
from
up.
Alberto, who is
Yes.
the one of the so he said that Romeo and Julieta is one of the few Habanos brands where the Vitola de la Galera Gran Coronas has existed
Ah, very
for the
nice.
longest period of time.
All
Hello?
right.
Can
Yeah,
you
we're
still see
here.
me?
We can
No,
hear
we're right
you.
there.
We can hear you very
Rosamund's
much.
sleeping, but I'm here.
I'm very much
So,
here.
that those things are off the top of my head.
Okay.
Romeo and Julieta cigars. Generally, I've had a complicated relationship with them
Right.
ever since
That
I've
was most of your
smoked them because,
relationships.
first of all, it is one of the old brands. Well, it's one of the old brands, so it's one of the desirable brands. But for some
Right.
reason, it never peaks. Most people don't normally talk about Romeo and Julieta cigars.
Right.
They will talk about Partagas or Cohiba or this
Right.
or that, the other, right? For
Because they're
some reason,
better.
one of these really old brands, Romeo and Julieta, never quite makes the cut.
Right.
Now, I found, perhaps on a personal experience level, I don't know if Usman can relate to this, that Romeo and Julieta wrappers on the cigar are a bit more delicate. It's a bit more of a hard work cigar to get right,
Right.
to smoke right. You have to kind of little strive and be careful on how you light and how you smoke. It has a more, let's call it a little bit more of a delicate touch involved. You have to give it a little bit of love to get the love back, in keeping in line with this Romeo and Julieta kind of name thing.
Right.
That's my observation. I don't know if Usman agrees with me.
I,
Rosamund,
I
do you agree?
think, yeah, I think I will agree to a certain extent because a few of the new releases are really like that with a very delicate wrapper, and I would say more to do on that part is primarily because of the price point and all of that. So if that is not going to be giving that elegance and that delicacy kind of a feel, I don't think people would really appreciate and agree to those kind of pricing. If, however, if you see the Romeo and Julieta, the regular ones, number one, number two, number three, the ones that didn't come in tubo, they are still the same looking. Where, yeah, uno tres. So they are still looking the same. Yeah. So this the same old way, and the wrappers are not that finer as compared to the new series.
But
But
Usman, what is your observation on this? That I don't find well, no, let's put it in positive sense. I find that people tend not to really, as much as it's not like a preferred choice. Oh, let me smoke a Romeo and Julieta. No, there's a Partagas thing going on. There's a Cohiba thing. There's a Trinidad thing. There's a Bolivar thing. For some reason,
there's a reason. There's a reason. Raza. See, uh, if I'm not wrong, there are 6 global brands, right? Out of those global brands, Cohiba is practically now out of reach of a lot of people, and is generally always out of the reach. There are 5 other brands. Out of those 5 brands, what are the most produced and most widely available brands? There are 3 brands, right? One is Romeo y Julieta, 2 is Monte Cristo, and 3 is Partagas.
Mhm.
Now, people who like stronger cigars, they will always favor towards Partagas, whereas the people who like lighter cigars, they will go towards Romeo and Julieta, and the ones who are more towards the medium-bodied cigars, they will go towards Monte Cristo. That's one. The other thing is the availability of the number of vitolas in Romeo and Julieta is so huge that whatever you say, wherever you are, you would end up finding at least 1 or 2 vitolas in any of the humidors or any of the shops,
yeah,
which is
plentiful,
unlike,
plentiful, plentiful.
so which is not very common in other brands, even like Monte Cristo or Partagas, whereas the portfolio and the vitolas are less. So if we say in the petty corona type of thing, or thinner ringages in the 40s, Romeo and Julieta, if I'm not wrong, has at least 7 to 8, 9 different choices. Romeo and Julieta number 1, 2, 3. Then you move on to your millifleurs. Then you move on to your Romeo and Julieta Cidros number 1, 2, 3. Then you move on to the Cazadores, which is also a thinner ringage. Then you move on to, if I'm not wrong, there's a sports Largo. There is another one. So there is like 8, 9, 10, which are very thin, very basic stars to start with, which are primarily less than $10 cigars. So a lot of people go and find that easily, and hence the name of Romeo and Julieta being
So,
there. I would tell you, I mean, if I'm not wrong, before even I had started smoking, there are two names I was aware of, or kind of they were back of the memory. One was Romeo and Julieta, one because of the romanticism and the all of that, but
Right.
also the other part is Monte Cristo, because these are the two names you would have heard or you would have seen people smoking one way or the other. Partagas was not that common at that time, at least for me. I wasn't aware of it, or A. Chapman or Hoyo de Monteri for that matter. So yes, that's where I would say and agree that Romeo and Julieta has that kind of the presence in the minds of people.
Yeah, but
so
Romeo
what
and
you're
Juliet.
saying is that
wait,
product has become slightly cheapened by comparison. That's what you're saying.
But the
And
other
it's not a
problem
good
with
word,
though,
but
Yeah,
the
Sim,
other,
go ahead.
the other problem with Romeo and Juliet, even if you smoke the Dominic, and I've
Uh-huh.
smoked both. I've smoked the Cuban and I've smoked the Dominic. To your point, it's like smoking rolled newspaper, because it's very, very light. So if you really, when people go, what cigar should I start with? I'm not a fan of Romeo and Juliet, but I would say that's where you start, because this way you can. It's like you won't get sick, even if you gulp it down like a cigarette. You won't get sick. You won't. It's just a nice beginner cigar because it's a very light cigar. So to your
I
point about
agree.
Winston Churchill, if you're smoking 100 cigars a day, you smoke a nice light cigar, it's perfect. If you smoke some of the fuller body ones, you have a chance. If you haven't eaten. He started at like 6 in the morning with brandy and a cigar. So
Yeah,
light cigar, light cigar, light cigar. If you're going to a full body cigar, you got to put something in your stomach where you do the Technicolor yawn.
I agree with you.
I hate one thing about this conversation. When I
That
say
you're not in it.
hate is a strong word, right?
Yeah.
You could not help but mention the Dominican Monte Cristo. No. I
Did
said no.
not,
This is the reality. This is the
in Stephen's defense, Stephen, for a single minute, did not talk about Dominican Monte Cristo.
no. The point I was trying to make, the point I was making is not. It's not unjustifiable for
Right.
Stephen to have mentioned it. It lends itself to being mentioned, but that's the magic trick. That's the problem. There is no comparison between, other than by name, a Romeo and
Right.
Julieta from Dominican Republic and a Cuban.
Right.
There is no comparison, and
Agreed.
yet the hijacking of a name, right? And I call it hijacking primarily because if you're proud of your product, why are you going to give it the name of another product? If I'm proud of the supercar I've built, I'm not going to call it Ferrari. I'm going to call it REZA, or I'm going to call it, I don't know, the Eagle or something. You know what I mean? If you're proud of your product, this thing actually is beginning to really. I'm beginning to be bothered by it because Stephen is mentioning it. It's a normal thing to mention that
Right.
there is a Dominican. But it's like mentioning a Nissan when you're talking about Lamborghinis. There is
Right, but the
nothing to do
difference
with
though
each other.
is it's like what happened with Cohiba a few weeks ago. We discussed it on the show. They won their lawsuit against Cohiba US that they can't use the Cohiba brand anymore because they're like, hey, you're not part of us. You have to stop. Now, I don't know if the Romeo and Juliet people in Havana or Cuba have licensed it or if they're actually growing in the Dominic. So, but there is all the
There's no license, and the premise, like on this in this entire thing, is the same as Cohiba, because Cohiba was a very much Cuban brand.
right,
The only thing in Cohiba's favor, if I'm not wrong, is the fact that Cohiba was created after the revolution, and it was not a brand which was owned by any family, which was the case in Romeo and Julieta or Monte Cristo or A. Chapman
right,
or Eddie Monteri, who were there and existent prior to the revolution, and
right,
hence few families have claims over the fact that this was a brand owned by us and we were thrown out of the country, or we were disbarred of having our own thing. So, yes, we are the ones who made it, we keep it. So, to Raza's thing, Raza, I understand what you're saying, but in their defense, also, that is the case. I'm not defending
No, I
anyone
can.
here,
I
but
have a
that's
degree of sympathy. What you're saying is,
Cohiba yeah, in Cohiba and Trinidad. I mean, I am surprised that Cuba has not filed a similar lawsuit, or maybe if they have, I'm not aware of in Trinidad's case, because Trinidad is even 3 years later than.
I have a solution. I have a solution. I have a practical solution, right? The practical solution is that, or could have been, yeah, that those farms or families promoting Cohiba in Dominican Republic or Partagas, they should have been proud of what they're doing. They should have called it Cohiba Dominican Republic, DR.
They say
They should have
that.
called it Romeo y Julieta, DR.
They say that the brands and the
No, as
boxes.
part of the name. I'm not talking about marketing. I'm talking as part of the name.
And the label where it says Dominican Republic. He's saying
Yeah,
when
you should just say
Romeo.
You're missing the point. So it is see, if something is inherited by me, or if something was built by me, why would I want to put a other name, or tweak it just because somebody else has taken it?
Then let me ask you a question. No, hang on.
Premise.
Then why didn't they take the Cubans to court? Why did they not take the Cubans to court then?
Yeah,
what court are you going to take them to?
Right? If I rightly believe, no, I don't know the legality behind, so I'm guessing, and maybe I'm coming across very stupid to those legal experts, but this is a genuine question, right? If people are very proud of that product, why haven't they taken the Cubans to court? Why haven't they taken a factory to court? Because these are commercial entities. Why haven't they taken the exporter to court?
Because when you own, if you're using something in the marketplace, theoretically, whether you patent it, trademark it, or whatever, if you go to court, like if just say I come up tomorrow and I'm like, I'm going to make the Francesca brand here in America. There's a Dominican one, right? But there's not.
There is a non-Cuban version of Fonseca.
Right. But I'm just saying, let's say there's not. And I decide that's what I'm going to do, and I patent it, and I trade it, and I service market. I do everything I'm going to do, and they come after me. The first thing the courts look at is who actually has been using the brand, and the mark doesn't really matter then at that point. So what ends up happening is that I, as the Cuban factory that's been using it, if you will, since 18 whatever, he's going to be like, it's mine. And the courts are going to be like, it is his. And then they may make you change the label. They may make you change. They may be, to your point, maybe whatever, Dominican, but you can't then use that. So I'm assuming someone's paying a licensing fee somewhere to some of these factories, because for the Americans, I can't get Cubans. It's like, oh, look, I can smoke the knockoff. But the other thing which you have to look at, I mean, you're talking about people in hats and pocket squares and that are very flamboyant, and we won't mention the guy with the F's name because that would be rude of us. But if you think about it, there are so many New World cigars or non-Cubans, right? You have, and so it's a lot of people in America that smoke cigars don't really care that there's Cuban cigars. Because to them, it's like, okay, they have their own, you have Davidoff, you have this, you have that, right. Like, and so it's one of those things. So it's a much different mentality.
Mass hypnosis.
But the point of it is if I live in a place where they sell me Cubans and my thing is I can either have Cuban or non-Cuban, I will go with Cuban. But if I'm in a place that I can't buy Cuban,
if you don't get Cadbury's dairy milk supplied in the US market, you will always believe that Hershey's chocolates are chocolates. Right? Okay. I don't know. I'm saying that if your market awareness is not there, then you kind of don't know what you're missing, if you know what I mean, right?
Though I love the analogy and I love the example, and having worked for Cadbury, made Cadbury, sold Cadbury for 3 years, loved the brand and all that stuff, to your dismay, I might tell you now, unfortunately, Cadbury is no more a UK-based brand and has already been taken over by the US market and is part of the Mondelez portfolio.
But what I'm saying is, in terms of product, being used to a product, they're just not used to this product. And they've got used to just talking very casually, as Stephen has, There's nothing wrong with what Stephen has said per se. That's his perspective because that's where he lives and that's what he has access to, and that's how else is he meant to talk about it, right? Yeah. So, but when Stephen talks about Monte Cristo cigars, or I've been on the farm growing the leaves for Monte Cristo cigars in Dominican Republic. Yeah, they're very proud of it, and that's fine, rightly so, right? But there's two products with the same name. And the products, apart from looking like cigars, are incomparable. Right. They're different products. Right. Yeah, they're totally different products. Now we have the benefit of sitting in a place where we can try, but you don't get Dominican Monte Cristos in the UK. If someone does, I've never seen anyone smoking one. Right? Okay. Right. And why should they? In the US, you've got a market for, and so good for you. But it is different products. So when in a globalized world full of social media. We're talking about cigars. This program goes out in the USA, goes out everywhere else in the world. Right. It's on Spotify, it's on podcast, it's on YouTube, etc. You can see it on Instagram. By the way, that was a shout out for everyone. Yeah. You then get to realize, well, hang on, what are we missing here? Why can't I try that? And that is the educative process. Right. So maybe I'm coming from an arrogant perspective here. Maybe I'm just privileged that I can try those things. But that is a point of view.
Part of it also is, if you look at it from what you just said, if you never travel outside the United States, right, and you smoke whatever cigar that's a non-Cuban, then that's all you'll ever know. And you have to remember when the big smoke, when Cigar Aficionado puts it on, they don't give you Cubans, right? They give you every American brand there is, if you will. So they're promoting what they can promote. Yes. And I always joke about Donnie making me the cigar czar, but realistically, if that ever happened, and I know we were busting Usman's chops last year about this, and if you think about it, we're probably outside of China, the largest market. The Cuban market would dwindle down to like the rest of the world to nothing because we would smoke, people here would be going nuts for it. So if you don't, to your point, if you've not driven the new V12 Ferrari or the Lusa or the F40, thank you, and you're driving another type of car, then you don't know. But when you drive or whatever, if you drive a Rolls Royce for luxury and then you drive a BMW, you're like, eh. So it's the same mentality and the same thing. Until you know, you don't know. And there's going to be people that are going to try Cubans and go, "Oh, all right." They're not going to see.
And by the way, and I blame, by the way, Cigar Aficionado magazine. It's the big distorter. I mean, it is US centric magazine. Yeah, having these fucking award lists with all these fucking cigars. What you're saying? You've got an award ceremony or you've got an award ranking for shit cigars.
Well, they do Cuban. They review Cuban
that's how
cigars.
I see it. It's just a marketing exercise to sell product.
Well, it's just sell the paper. Yeah, well, that's all they ever do. They sell the paper. I remember the Rob Report did a cigar of the year with some U.S. cigar, and I tried it. I was like, this is crap. I literally wrote them a letter, and then I was invited to a cigar event like 2 months later that they put on in Miami. This is many years ago, and I met the editor, and I said, who picks your cigars? And he's like, oh, so-and-so. I go, your cigar of the year is crap. Like, I wouldn't give that to like my enemy. And he's like, oh, no, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. So
I think in the U.S. market, you should encourage people to smoke. Like, if they're not able to get Cubans, this is just a personal suggestion, by the way. You can bin it. I think you should smoke something with pedigree, something with real gusto, real quality. You should smoke Davidoff.
Of course. Davidoff, that's the one. That's the go. Other than the CAO Brazilian Amazon, go to Davidoff.
I was waiting for when the CAO Brasilia is going to come.
Yeah, well, here's the funny part. He likes Camacho, REZA does, which is Davidoff. His cigar last year of the cigar of the year was a Davidoff. So no, Davidoff's a great brand. But your point is, remember, Davidoff was also made in Cuba to I think until the 60s, and then they stopped because of the revolution.
1960s.
Yeah, the 1960s, not the year 60s. Zeno was making cigars in Cuba. And then when the revolution happened, where they're like, we're going to own this, they were like, we'll just go over here. But what they did, which is smart, they kept the same mindset and the same production value and the same production style that they had in Cuba. They didn't just go like, let's just put out 10,000 boxes or cigars a day. They're like, we still have a process. So when you get a Davidoff, whether you spend $20 or $100 or $500, you're going to get, to your point, like a Ferrari when you know it's going to drive and smoke well. And that's the difference between a lot of the New World cigars or non-Cubans. You smoke them and they're just crap.
Fair enough.
Thanks. I'm glad I got a fair enough for that. That was awesome. I'm glad I just, Usman, the camera's up here. So there you go. Usman's texting his friends right now going, listen, I'm almost done. I'll be there in a little bit.
No. I was texting a couple of people who wanted to come on this show if they're still coming or not.
The cigar analyst, has REZA spoken about the car band brands, by the way? The car brand bands? What?
Let's have a look.
REZA, have you spoken from Ali? By the way, Ali, he already did the Romeo and Julieta. You missed it, so you'll have to watch the show.
Now that reminds me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's awake.
I read messages late in the evening, and they sound very, very on point. And then by the next day, I've forgotten. So thank you for reminding me, Ali. Yes. So I posted something yesterday, day before yesterday, about some oblique Partagas brands that I found in the big fun book of Partagas. Okay. The big fun book.
Right.
Yes. Sorry.
Right. Tell us more about it.
Well, what I found were some, I would like to call them commemorative bands.
Okay.
So they're Partagas bands.
I saw that.
But
I saw that.
Obviously, were made for large customers of Partagas cigars. I would have imagined in the 50s, 60s, maybe even the 70s, for large organizations like Mercedes-Benz, for Air France, etc., etc. More as sort of commemorative cigars, perhaps to give as presents to some of their bigger customers, perhaps for specific occasions. But nevertheless, the interesting thing is these Cuban brands that are very sort of like closed shop. They're very sort of like, they do not like to, they're very relatively secretive industry. They do not want to cooperate too much with other global brands. When they do, it's by, they used to cooperate with entities like Air France and Mercedes-Benz and give them sort of cigars. And I don't know which Vitolas they would be. This is sort of a cursory look at this. And Ali wanted me to reference that. And I put that up on my stories. I said, hang on, I didn't know about this. I found this in a book. And wouldn't it be nice to perhaps smoke a cigar or have a cigar, a Partagas cigar with a Mercedes-Benz badge on it? It would just be so oblique, so out there.
Agreed. If you are referring to that, I have something to show you.
Hey, remember this is a GP rated show. It's a family
show.
I know.
Wait,
and he disappeared, so apparently he's showing it to us right now.
Let me show you quickly. By the way, this is where I pinched those bands from.
There we go.
I don't know if you can see. There's I'll try and line it up. There's a Mercedes-Benz somewhere in here.
Just look for the Nazis. You'll find them.
Is it on that side?
There you go. Yeah, one of that.
Oh, there it is. Right, it's there actually. It's there. Can you see?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Now, whilst this book is a very nice book, I haven't read in as to what Vitola size is. I haven't actually found. It may actually already give me the answer, but I'm guessing these are sort of commemorative cigars or cigars ordered by a company in order to give as presents to their own, I don't know, their customers or a ceremony or something like that. That's what I would have done. And I think that's a relatively accurate guess. I would have thought I'm 95% on the money for that.
If you think it, then it's got to be true.
You're talking about the guesses. I'm going to tell you where you can find the facts about it. Since we're talking of books,
hold on. There we go.
The most important and one of the most interesting, informative books in modern history on Cuban cigars, El Habano Moderno by Alexander Groom, who owns the Cuban Cigar website, is actually very informative on all of this kind of topics. And when I say that is, if you see on their even Instagram handle, for the last couple of months, Alex has been putting in a lot of pictures and a lot of history about very similar kind of things that Raza, you were just talking about, where he has shown a few big brands where and their boxes, which were made specifically for some establishment or some specific person or something like that. So if you want to read more and have more information, you can actually do that, and that tells, because this is all documented research with proper proofs and all that stuff, tells that there was a time when the factories could have a very custom order commissioned by someone influential or an
This must have
organization.
been sort of pre-revolution, I would have thought.
Yes, yes, this is
Right.
all. Most of it is
Yeah, so
pre-revolution.
my guesses were right.
But there are few instances that he has shown which are even after revolution too. So right after revolution, so in the 60s and in the 70s also, there were situations and there were things which were
Well,
done as
well,
custom
well,
order.
well, we spoke about this about 6 or 7 weeks ago. The birth of Quai d'Orsay, which
Mhm.
is a commercial
Right.
venture, is
No, no, no,
is
no, no,
post.
no, no, no. See, you're
No,
talking
no, no, no,
of,
no. I know, no, but I know what you're saying. But I'm talking about the relationship with external entities, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Relationship around not just commercial entities outside the field of cigars, but commercial entities within the field of cigars. Maybe that's not the perfect example, but that is still an example of cooperation.
Exactly. See, as if you go on the Cuban Cigar website handle, you would see there are a lot of examples that he's shown of the pictures in the boxes of cigars which are preserved at James J. Fox or Number Six or a few other older establishments in London, which has them, or a few collectors have them, which were specific special order.
Outside
Yes.
Cuba.
But the thing that you both are missing,
Thank you.
when they would whatchamacallit, when they would have cigars special ordered back in the day, whether it was Mercedes or whoever, when they would have Cuban cigars special ordered, that's when men were men. And the world wasn't a bunch
Thank
of
you.
pussies where you're not allowed to smoke cigars, you can't do this, you
So
can't do that. I think
I am
if
so happy to hear this comment.
okay, well,
And
I have more. I got a lot more. But my point is, if the world was different and we weren't a bunch of just little pussies and you can't smoke a cigar here and you can't do this, like in this corporate apartment, we're not allowed to smoke cigars. That's why I can't smoke a cigar on the show. Can't even smoke outside. It's the dumbest thing in the world. But at the end of the day, if this was a different world and I was a business and I was still a man, I would be like, you know what I'm going to give this holiday? I'm going to give you a box of cigars. I know you like cigars. People don't do that. They barely give scotch.
Yeah, it's a
So
different
that's the
world, different
problem.
time, different
agreed,
place.
Yeah.
agreed, totally agreed.
So it's pathetic.
You
So
know,
No, no,
there
no,
was
no, no.
there was the thing.
People like
There
me
was
have come up with a solution of that.
yes,
Now that we can't get our own commissioned custom cigars, what we
yeah,
do is we put footbands with our name on it,
yeah,
very nice.
right? So we put footbands on the, and that becomes kind of a memory for the people
right.
who that has been gifted to. Okay, so that's how you can still keep on with what you were saying, Stephen.
Okay.
I think even though with Stephen and also this conversation, this was about a culture that's changed. There was a
Yeah.
culture until about maybe 15, 20 years ago where it was like okay to talk about lighting up a cigar in a hospital after the birth of your child, right?
Right.
It's kind of, we live in a world which has made that sound very dated.
Yeah.
We're treated, when I say we, I think at an age level we're treated like dinosaurs that are already dead and extinct, where it's like the world is
Yes.
not relevant to us. The world is very relevant to us. There is still life in uh, the old man as yet, right? Yeah,
All right.
we have something to contribute to this culture, and actually the value I don't know if we were talking about this earlier, or maybe I was just talking about it in my head. The whole purpose of smoking cigars, I think we were talking about Davidoff cigars originally, right?
Yes.
Was
Yes.
that you're time traveling, you're smoking a
Yeah.
product that has traveled through time to get to you. It wasn't made today.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And the today product has its value, has its place,
Right.
but it cannot stand up to something that's traveled 80 years, 150 years.
Right.
It's been traveling through time to get to you. It's gone through it's like a refined Porsche. You know, Porsches tend to look very similar, right? If you kind of go back in time, the shape is kind of, it changes a little bit, but it's been engineered and improved and made better and better. And like when we talk about the Davidoff, which is, I'm not saying this sort of like just because it's season of the flavor of the month, right? One of the great things these guys do is they really engineer their cigars properly. They have no end of, they have something like 7 million permutations of tobacco blend. Depending on how drunk Roy Sommer is. Sometimes he says it's 3 million, sometimes he says it's 7 million. I'll just take a guess on the higher number. And Roy Sommer, if you're listening in, great fucking cigar brand, man. Well done. And Eddie, hello. This is a great brand. It's been traveling through time. It has history, it has provenance, it has pedigree. Right. It's something interesting to smoke. Right. And all of this, for me, is about time traveling to a time and a world where things were different. And unfortunately, they've changed quite a lot recently. Right. Things are not in fashion. Fashion changes not even every 6 months to 6 months. Fashion changes every month to month. Right. So in a world of great instability, one of the stable things are these historical products. And that's why we talk about them with so much love and so much respect.
Right. But you also have
there's no charge for this little speech.
Oh, thank God.
You already charged without saying it to Roy Sommers and Eddie, so that next time they give you an Oro Blanco.
Well, I can only say that these two splendid gentlemen, and also I'll give a shout out to Vibar if he's watching. He's the new entrant into the Davidoff world. These people do a fucking good job. Sorry, bad word. They're doing a remarkably good job.
Wow.
Well, good job. You know what? I didn't want to use such a crass word with such an elevated product.
Here we go. He was invited to the event a few weeks ago, so he's
it's not this. I'm not bought
and he's going to another event probably next week.
If I like something, I like it.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, he's just sucking up for the events.
I've smoked plenty of shit cigars, gentlemen.
I know, and Davidoff is not one of them. We're well aware.
I don't believe you should be speaking about Davidoff in the same sentence as.
Okay, you just keep Davidoff. Just keep the checks coming to REZA, and he'll keep going. Ali says we live in a world of a bunch of dandies. Hey, that's the guy with the F with the big flower in the hat. Anyway, the problem also. I know, I'm aware. The other problem is with some of them wear
stupid shirts and silly glasses and weird hats.
I've heard. Fawkes, I think. Anyway, the other problem is that we have is that a lot of the cigars, Davidoff is included in this, a lot of these cigars, there's a history. When you look at some of the newer cigars, New World, if you will, or non-Cuban, there's no history. They've been around 10, 20, maybe 30 years.
Is in the complete fucking knob end who started them. That's his history. Yeah.
Right, but that's my point, right?
I can't stand it. There's a bunch of chavs out there starting brands of cigars. Fuck them all, yeah. Have something, have some level of sophistication about it, right? Have some level of history about it. No, don't have it. Sorry.
Well, and that's the difference. I mean, we're of a generation, or we're of an ilk that we like the cigars with the history and a provenance. Some of the people just want the brand new stuff that came out because some celebrity cigar person came up with it, and they're like, "Oh, I got to try it. It's great." It's crap, but they think it's great because they don't know any better. It's the same thing. So, it's
in a perverse kind of way. In a perverse kind of way, it takes for all of these crap cigars in the market to actually elevate the really good ones as well.
I agree.
I think there's a sort of like a self-fulfilling role in that.
Yeah, I think so.
But there's no really crap Habanos cigars actually. I've not encountered one. I mean, like really, really crap. They're sort of like, they have their own qualities to them, but it's really good tobacco. At the end of the day, that's what Cubans say, isn't it? They don't say, "Oh, I'm getting banana leaves from this cigar," or "I'm getting coffee." Right. They just say, "This is good tobacco. This is good shit, man." That's how they talk, right? I mean, they don't say it in a crass way, but they say, "This is really good stuff."
And they also say it in Spanish. They also say that in Spanish. So, they go, "Pase de pepe, por favor."
No, Frank Stephenson just sent me something, but I won't say it out loud.
Why not?
There we go. Frank is shout out to Frank. Frank's big cigar smoker.
I know. Why isn't Frank on the show?
Ferrari. I think I said Ferrari so many bloody times. The Ferrari designer suddenly turned up.
Yeah, there you go. Well, put Frank on the show. I like when Frank's on this. I like when Frank talks about how he designed the Mini.
Oh yes,
That's the best.
Oh, he had that conversation with you, didn't he, Usman?
yes.
That's really cool. That's really cool. As a Minneota.
He had that on one of those hearths that we used to have.
Yes.
Yeah. But now we have them here when the
Let's do
fans
that.
aren't traveling. Yeah, so we'll do it here. We'll have Frank come on and tell us about the Ferrari and Le Mans, McLaren that he designed.
I wish Frank would tell a story about a cigar and a car.
Oh, there you go. A cigar and a
I think
car.
I made this up in my head, but I think his story was, I think he was in Miami smoking a cigar and he was watching a marlin being, marlin is a fish.
Yeah, fish. I thought it could be the baseball team.
And that's where he got the design for the McLaren P1.
Really?
The shape of the marlin. That's where it came from.
All right.
But he was smoking a cigar. Now, wouldn't it be a fucking amazing history if that legendary designer told you the brand of cigar he was smoking when he designed a P1? Now, that would be a tie-in to history. Now,
that's history.
Because I've said this out loud, I'm going to message him and ask him, and he's going to say, Reza, what the fuck? I don't remember. I was drunk.
Right. And then just tell him to make something up. It's fine. No one's going to know.
Well, I'll have to make it up. I'll have to make that story up. It's up to him to disprove it. I personally think that Frank Stephenson was smoking a Cuaba Salamones, because the Cuaba Salamones, the double figurado, is kind of that fish shape. It's that fish shape. So that was reinforcing the marlin shape. Oh my God,
the P1.
And so we have the McLaren P1.
Very nice.
Right. So Stephen, now you know what's after Davidoff he's going to hunt for.
Yeah, I got the. I'm just making the list.
Usman looks mildly pissed off. He perhaps thinks that I'm not serious enough. I'm just making suggestions based on who's paid me. Let me confirm here on this program in digital format. I'm not paid.
I will actually think that you're not serious. How can you say that?
You're my that look you have on your face.
You're my elder brother. I take a lot of inspiration from you. No.
Deadpan look on your face is sort of like, oh, what's he going? It's like Stephen. I can hear Stephen going, oh, they. I can hear him doing it, right? You can say, fucking hell, he's going off on one again, I'm only going off on one.
Because I started at the beginning of the show.
When it comes to design, when it comes to cars, when it comes to cigars, when it comes to great company, I get carried away.
One great cigar.
Tell everybody what you're smoking.
That's a grassy cigar, very grassy.
Not at all.
Have you got grass in the background? Steve,
no.
You've got grass swaying.
See, if you're down to less than a centimeter on this, it tells you the cigar is way, and it has not heated till now. Very, very, very good.
Good.
After a while,
we're halfway through the year, but Usman, did you have a cigar of the year last year?
Yes, cigar. We all did.
What was your cigar of the year last year?
Magnum 50.
Have you encountered your cigar of the year this year, even though we're only halfway through the year? I have.
I don't think yet.
Stephen?
What?
Have you encountered your cigar of the year, even though we're only halfway through the year?
Yes.
Sierra Brazilian.
Well, yeah. No, I smoke. Well, no, I don't think that was my cigar of the year. I think it was something else.
Well, what is your cigar of the year up until now?
For this year.
So we're like midpoint in the year. What is your cigar of the year?
My cigar of the year right now, because I'm just enjoying them, it would be the Davidoff Late Evening.
Okay.
The late hour. Very good. That's a very good choice, given that we've been talking about Davidoff on this program. It was fun.
Because the delivery man just dropped off the humidor with all the. I
happen to think that's a splendid choice. Davidoff are outstanding cigars.
I love Davidoff. Yeah. They just dropped off the Zodiac cigars. So.
For me, I was once again reminded of my all-time great choices of Cohiba Robusto being an absolutely amazing cigar. So far, I mean, and when you smoke a Cohiba Robusto, which is at least 6 years old, and that too in the capital of the cigar world, which is Havana, you can't go wrong with it. So
shout out to Havana.
Yes. So I mine was like Cohiba Robusto so far.
Well, we might be of one mind. Not completely, but we're very close. I think my cigar of the year is a cigar I've revisited after a very long time, at least a decade. smoke it a hell of a lot, but this year I've smoked it maybe 6 or 7 times. Every single time, outstanding, has blown my mind. I think it might end up being cigar of the year for me, which is a standard production cigar. Is the Siglo 2.
That's a great cigar.
Cohiba
Yeah,
Siglo
that's a
2.
good stick.
It's
Yeah.
very good.
It delivers on every single thing that you could ask
Absolutely.
of it. Every single thing. It's the right size. It has the pedigree. Second century. Siglo 2.
AJ Patel argues with you here. He's writing something.
Oh, he would
to you.
argue with me, wouldn't he? He's
He's
that type of
you know,
person.
AJ's like he's Jose. He's put Jose in here.
Jose Cazadores.
Yes, and his brother Jose. Yeah.
What about Cazadores?
Yeah, I didn't get it, but
He
there's
didn't
a
say
smile.
he just said
There's
Jose Cazadores.
a smiley after that as well from AJ. So I
Maybe
don't
that's
know.
his cigar of the year. Maybe that's AJ's
you know
cigar
what
of the year.
I'm finding, even though I have huge amount of love and respect for AJ Patel, yeah, and
Here
even
he
though
comes.
he was smoking this this Davidoff Oro Blanco. Just a reminder, AJ, Oro Blanco means white gold, doesn't mean silver. Okay, now not to correct you, far be it from me to correct you. It's just humble advice. But he's a bit of a contrarian. If you like something, he goes the opposite direction.
Okay. That's a curveball. AJ's saying that the Jose is a curveball.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
What?
So
why is it curveball? Explain.
And to your comment, he says totally correct.
Why? And
totally correct.
Course,
what comment? What part? Because my comment was all over the place.
Your comment goes in the other direction, if I'm not wrong.
Or so he should have said I'm incorrect.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
maybe
let's infer to what he has said. Either he has said totally correct to you saying.
So now AJ gets a bit of a jab from me. AJ, having raised yourself to the pinnacle of the Oro Blanco yesterday.
Oro Blanco. So it's related to Oro Blanco, I guess, the gold.
Yes. So having smoked this illustrious cigar a day or two ago, what are you smoking on the downer today? What is this a bit of a step down? What are you smoking? Are you smoking a CAO Brazilian, a bit like Stephen like hammers the CAO Brazilians, or are we
they send me containers?
Or are you smoking the Davidoff range? Are you going through the Davidoff range? I can't hear anything.
Just because he says I missed Productions filled with weed is Cuban cigars, real champagne, overrated because of the embargo.
I can't read anymore.
So. Okay, is Miss El Productos filled with weed? Is Cuban cigars real champion or
did he say weed?
Embargo? No, it's not. Or it's not Ajay saying it. It's someone else saying it.
Pro Blanco, you're Pro Blanco.
No, this is El Deuce. El Deuce is saying it, not AJ.
He's correcting. I miss El Productos filled with weed. Is Cuban cigars the real champion or overrated because of the embargo? The real person who could answer that question, apart from Usman, the real person who could answer that question would be Mr. AJ Patel, who's listening, who is the
proprietor.
He knows almost about as much as cigars as Usman does.
No. Oh, what are you talking about?
I just gave you a chance to interject there.
Well, okay.
AJ Patel, you guys are talking about cigars of the year so far. I just put the Jose as no one talks about it. Yeah, so that's why. So we should talk about Jose next week and his brother.
We should talk about the Cazadores.
Yeah, we should.
Talk about the Cazadores.
That's a good shout out from Mr. Patel.
Yes,
Mr. Patel,
very good shout out.
And he knows his cigars.
He kind of does, yeah.
If he doesn't know, who else would?
Well, I can think of a few people that might, but I think I think AJ doesn't come on here for a vanity shout out. But unfortunately, when he does come on here, there is a bit of a vanity shout out. The guy knows his stuff inside out.
No, see the fact that
he knows almost as much as some Chinese fellows we know, Mr. Patel.
Well, there's the side conversation.
I was just getting AJ's blood high. Just getting his blood. The temperature's high in London. I thought it was a little bit of intellectual stimulus there.
AJ says, "Trust me, I only know a little bit." He's very modest. He's a very nice guy. He's very modest.
I think AJ likes. He's a bit of a. You know what? I'm gonna give you a nickname, Mr. Patel. I think you're the cigar stealth bomber. You kind of fly under the radar, or at least you want to show that you're flying underneath the radar. There you go. You see, it's one thing me having a chat, but Usman likes to suck up a little bit. I don't understand.
Yeah,
this.
of course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did.
You totally acknowledge that, Chief. Chief.
I'll tell you one thing very clearly.
It's slightly that subservience.
Wherever I know that I can learn something from someone, I will always acknowledge that.
But you never text me. You never text me.
That's. I think that statement says it all.
See, the fact that I had to teach you something a few weeks ago to calm down on a lot of things.
You just made this show slightly more interesting than it has been up until now.
Oh God!
Right? So when it comes to AJ, I think I would kill to learn from him as much as I can.
Who would you kill?
I agree.
Who would you kill?
Well, right now I can only see you.
The man's asking you a serious question. How was the Fonseca?
Mr. Patel wants to know how your cigar was.
Now, was it grassy? I always get this grassiness.
Okay, so I really enjoyed it, and especially when I said this is what is left of this cigar, which is less than half a centimeter, and this is not because I wanted to smoke the cigar this much. It was too fucking good to smoke till then. And I had smoked a Fonseca after a while, so I really enjoyed it.
I smoked a Fonseca a week ago just to piss someone off.
I really like the Fonseca number 1 out of all the 4 regular productions that are there. But this one I really enjoyed. This was practically my first time, if I'm not wrong, smoking a Cadet.
Very nice.
Yeah.
A Cadet?
Yeah, so the name is KDT Cadet.
I was smoking. I think it must be about 10-ish days ago, and there was a group of Chinese fellows, cigar store sitting in front of me, and one of them in particular was making jokes about Fonseca. So I smoked one there and then, and let me tell you, I actually thought it was a nice, very tight smoke. Not tight as in like hard to draw, but it was a beautiful, grassy, earthy kind of smoke. Got to go and sell a few cigars. Might look back in if you guys are still here. Who knows how long?
AJ, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
All right. Yeah. So, gentlemen, I think it is already time that we should try to wrap this up.
Because AJ left, that's it. AJ left, we're done.
No, it's more than an hour and 15, 16 minutes.
Okay, and Usman has to go to the restroom, so he has to go to the loo. So he's trying to be nice. He's like, I gotta go. Kids, it's been a blast. It's been a blast to see all you fans. Don't forget, we'll be live next Saturday. We rebroadcast the show in a couple hours. If you missed any of it, we will put out some shorts on the cigar history of the Francesca and the Romeo and Juliet. We'll do that as one big history this week. So you guys can get that on Monday when it comes out. You can get us wherever, as Riza said, wherever you get your podcast or wherever you get your YouTube. We're everywhere on podcasting. That podcast out comes tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Tell all your friends.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to be on the podcast, drop Stephen or Usman a DM.
No, drop Usman. Usman.
And you can come on the podcast and have your 5 minutes of ranting.
Well, we were going to do a fur flash a couple weeks ago, but the fans couldn't make it apparently. So we'll have to try it again.
Shy.
Yeah, we'll try. Fur fake. We can try. All right, kids. It's been a pleasure, everybody. Have a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you all next week. And God knows what we're going to talk about next week. Oh, man, Jose. It'll be very exciting. Make AJ happy. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Jose Cazadores.